It's competitive eating girlfriend versus competitive eating boyfriend, with Johnny One More Bite Rodriguez battling Sarah Reinecke in 20 questions on Rugrats and Stephen King. This is Trivia with Buds. It be. And welcome to episode 90 of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. I'm a trivia host in Southern California, and I am so glad you decided to check out this show today. We are 10 episodes away from the big 100. I still have to think of something fun to do for the 100th episode. Maybe it'll be 100 hours long. Who knows? We still have the plans to be worked out. This is a show about trivia and trivia questions and trivia answers, and it's based on all the stuff that you love. We have a really good episode today with cartoon babies and the Master of Horror. But before we get to that trivia, let's talk about the weekend, not the singer, performer, but my weekend. It was WrestleMania weekend, everybody. If you listen to this show, and you have for some time, you know that I'm a big wrestling fan, and it was WrestleMania 34 from New Orleans. I almost went to this show with my brother. I was going to try and plan a big trip, but it was very, very expensive. So I did not do that, and instead had a big party at my house. Invited a bunch of trivia players, local players over that also watch wrestling, and we had a big party. We watched it on a projector that one of my breweries that I host trivia at let me borrow. That was very cool. Shout out to Last Name Brewing in Upland for doing that for me. And I got drunk out of my mind. I left my brother a very drunken voicemail that he told me about today, the day after WrestleMania, and I don't remember leaving it at all. Something about him being my number one biatch and how I have a book full of biatches and he's on page 1. So it sounds like something I would probably concoct in a drunken state. I also called my pals Jeff and Scott from the Fully Posable podcast. They were actually at WrestleMania at the Superdome, and I talked to them, I think, on their way out of Mania, just because I was excited and drunk and wanted to talk to wrestling friends about what we had just watched for 7.5 hours. It was one of the longest Manias ever. Check out their show this Sunday, Fully Posable, which I'm sure will be chock full of great WrestleMania stories if you like fun stuff. Another fun thing I did Friday night, I bought a card game called Quiddler, and it is like a kind of like a Scrabble type game. You're trying to make different words based on the amount of cards in your hand, and each letter is on a different card, and some letters have some cards have more than one letter, like QU appears on one card, and you have to try and make words out of your hand, and you do like 10 rounds or 8 rounds, kind of like Phase 10 if you play that game. So there's different levels of the game that you play where you get more cards to make bigger words and things like that. So I played that with the family. It's super fun, very addictive, and very easy to learn. So if you're looking for a new card game, check out Quiddler. It has like 13,000 5-star reviews on Amazon. So I'm just passing the word along on that one. I think it's been out for about 10 or 20 years. I am also back on Words with Friends. If you want to play me in Words with Friends, I don't know how you find somebody on there, but I'm on there. And if you want to do that, I'd love to beat you in that game. I don't even look stuff up. I'm that good, except when I'm like, is QI a word? Which I think it is. Also been playing a lot of magnetic Scrabble. We have a big Scrabble board on our kitchen wall, and we play it in my family. Every day you're like, oh, it's my turn. Then you play a word. So a lot of word games. I'm getting a big word game kick going, which is good because I was an English major, and that's what that thousands of dollars got me, a love for Scrabble. I'm getting ready for a big show Saturday, April 21st. I won't stop talking about it. It's at Last Name Brewing. There's a shout out to them once again. It's 7 to 10 p.m. About a third of the tickets for this event are gone. It's my first ever ticketed trivia event. So it's open to 100 people, and we've sold about 36 tickets, I think. So they will be available at the door if we don't sell them all online, but you can get them for $10 online or $12 at the door. And we're doing an hour of Disney trivia, an hour of Marvel trivia, and an hour of Star Wars trivia. So if you love those nerdy franchises and you live in Southern California, don't miss out on winning 3 huge gift baskets with tons of fun stuff from all 3 of those franchises. If you work at or run a dispensary in California, I'm looking to do a fun event for 420. I happen to be open on Friday, April 20th, and my last name is Buds. It could be a really fun thing. If you have something going on where you can use some trivia or like a host of some kind for something fun on 420, look no further than emailing me, Ryan Budds, RyanBudds at gmail.com. I'd love to do something kind of last minute with you, and we can make it very, very fun. I will be in Chicago the first weekend of May. I'm marrying a couple, and then I'm doing another wedding in San Diego on May 20th, I believe, for some family. So if you're looking for an officiant, I would love to do your wedding. I meet people all the time who are engaged at trivia nights, and they're like, "You do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I actually do. This is my sixth and seventh weddings in May that couples I've married, and so far everyone is still together." So that's my track record. How cool would that be if I married like 100 couples and then they all stayed together? Wouldn't that be a fun thing? You could be the next couple. Let me know. And again, drop me an email, ryanbuds at gmail.com. If you need an officiant, a host, if you want to have like a cocktail hour with trivia about you and your fiance at your wedding, that's something I can do as well. So let me know. And without any further ado, we're going to dive into this episode. It's tons of fun. Sarah and Johnny are a very fun couple, and they talk about eating insane things. And we do some great trivia on Rugrats and Stephen King, so let's do it. Here we go. Sitting here in beautiful Laverne, California, from my new home office, which lets me stare out a window at the mountains near Mount Baldy, which is where I live in California. And it's a beautiful day here in this beautiful state. And I am on a Skype call with two friends of mine. Those two friends are competitive eaters. They are dating each other, and they are really, really fun people, and I'm so excited for you to meet them. Mr. Johnny Rodriguez, he goes by Juan More Bite. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, what's happening, Ryan? Thanks for having us on.
Oh, I'm so excited to see if this relationship stands the strength of this podcast. And I'm also here with Sarah Reinecke. What's up, Sarah?
Hey there. Happy to be here.
Very cool. Now, you guys are both competitive eaters, and you do a lot of different contests, and you're ranked in different things, and I'm excited to hear about all that stuff. And Johnny, I'll tell you a little bit about how I know Johnny. He was the cousin of my best friend Ron growing up, so we became good buddies, as you would on the south side of Chicago, partying and things like that. Johnny, tell me a little bit about growing up in Chicago. What was your favorite thing about being based out of the south side?
Probably the weekends and just getting together with the gang, whether it was with you, Ron, and those boys, or, the clique I grew up with, and just the crazy shenanigans we'd get into.
Yeah,
we could go on and on about the parties we would throw. So, that's a whole episode on its own.
Oh, yeah. I always tell people a big difference in California so far for me. I've lived out here for 5 years, and the biggest difference is there is a huge familial element in Chicago that I don't think is anywhere else. Or maybe it is. Maybe like Boston has it and things, but I've never really been there enough to experience it. But like when I go back, even though maybe it's a hologram because I'm from there and that's where my family lives. But when I go back home, I just feel like it's like going out to a bar, it just feels like everybody knows you kind of a thing, or you like run into a million people, And out here, I have actual family, like my wife's family and stuff, and it still doesn't feel like the same kind of family, if that makes any sense.
No, it totally does. Or like we all have a bond in the Midwest where like on the West Coast it's very loud. Now this doesn't mean Seattle, so calm down, babe. Like Vegas, California, like it's very laissez-faire. Like it's wishy-washy. It's a bunch of transplants.
Yeah, you
can't really get a good bond with people.
I should mention that you are recording from Chicagoland, and Sarah, you are up in Seattle.
Indeed.
Indeed. How's the weather? Is it raining like they always say right now?
I want to lie just to like make a case for my state, but unfortunately it is pissing rain currently.
It's pissing rain. You got a flannel on. You're listening to Nirvana. I know all about it.
I asked her to wear a flannel.
She's wearing a flannel, the official jersey of a competitive eater when they're not in a contest. Very good. That's amazing. And Johnny, you lived in Vegas for a long time, for a number of years, and that's kind of where the whole competitive eating thing started, right?
Yeah, I moved out there to get it, to get it off the ground, and it really just hit the ground running. And now it's no looking back. I just re-signed for another 3 years.
There you go. Re-signed. What does that mean? You re-signed with with who?
with Major League Eating, or IFOCE, the International Federation of Competitive Eating, every 3 years, each eater has to sign a 3-year agreement, meaning we will not compete with any other sponsor or contest that's not sanctioned by Major League Eating.
Interesting. And is there money involved in that, or is it just like, hey, I won't do that, and I like the brand?
I mean, not for us, but I mean, to their knowledge, they don't know about it. But I mean, like, mainly if you're the top guys, like the top 2 maybe get paid. I know Joey gets like 6 figures. He may lie to everyone, but I know for certain he gets 6 figures.
And Joey, what's his last name? Joey Chestnut?
Oh, Joey Walnut.
Joey Walnut. Is his real name Joey Walnut?
No, it's Joey Chestnut.
Chestnut. Okay, I was like, wait, no, did I get it wrong? I worked on Tosh.0, and they called him in one time for something, and he had like a real jacked up tooth. Is that right?
It's still jacked up. With all the money this fool makes, you would think he'd get his teeth fixed.
Yeah, there you go. This is kind of a fun juxtaposition as a competitive eater. Both of you are personal trainers. Tell me about how that works out.
Go ahead, babe. You start. You haven't talked at all. Knock your socks off.
Well, we both know you're the chatty Cathy of the two of us. Yeah, see? Couldn't even go a hot second.
Come on, babe. Simple question.
No, the personal training thing is great. I mean, I think the big thing with, like, when people think about personal trainers or anything around nutrition, they think, okay, you can only eat broccoli and chicken for, like, every meal of every single day. But I think, like, good nutritionists, good trainers, good coaches should, like, really make you not be scared as shit of food.
Yeah.
And so I think it works really well. People are like, wow, you look really good and you eat like that. And it's like, yeah, it's input versus output. It's not, it's not rocket science. It's just basic math.
That's a good way of thinking about it. They're like, oh, man, you guys eat, like Johnny, I've seen on video, eat, a gallon of eggnog and 3 pounds of Jingles cookies for Christmas one time. And his stomach literally pushed out, and he looked pregnant at the end of it in like an hour or whatever. And it was a really hard video to watch, and I actually shared that with my office, and everyone's like, good God. And I'm like, this guy's a personal trainer. And then I showed them, like, the next day, and you're ripped again. So I guess that is a good attribute to be like, yeah, I can show you how to balance, like, something this extreme so you can do your basic lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, Sarah, you're ranked 36th ranked eater with Major League Eating, and that was the organization Johnny just mentioned. What does that mean? 36, like the 36 people, is it a certain food thing? Is it a specific food, or is it just in general?
No, it's so of the top 50 people who are signed with Major League Eating, they think that, like, in all the grand scheme of all the types of foods that, like, I'm 36th best, essentially.
That's very good. And Johnny, are you on that list as well?
I am. I think I'm still ranked 12th right now.
Oh, shit. 12th and 36?
I got as high as 10 at one point.
Oh, there you go. And what is, I know you, Johnny, I've seen a lot of your individual records. Why don't you give me, like, maybe 5 of yours, and Sarah, maybe 5 of yours?
Okay. For personal best, 33 Nathan's hot dogs in 10 minutes, 181 pot stickers in 10 minutes.
Holy shit.
6.9 pounds of ribs in 10 minutes.
Oh, God.
15 pints of ice cream in 6 minutes. I had a world record.
16 pints of ice cream?
Yeah, 15 pints. I tied Joey's old world record, but lost by a pint.
Oh,
so
my
whatever.
God.
But hey, still good. I like it.
Oh, my God. I guess ice cream's got to be one of the easier things to eat because of the texture and how it melts and that kind of thing. But that much lactose, that's got to kill you.
Yeah, remember how you just described my belly for that video?
Yeah.
That's exactly how I looked.
It was just full, huh?
Minutes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So those are my top ones.
Sarah, you got some fun ones?
Oh, man, no, I'm still a newbie to this. So 17 hot dogs and buns at Nathan's.
Mm-hmm.
I did 87 gyoza, and I think 87 peeps in 3 minutes.
87 peeps for Easter, right in time for Easter. Oh, my God. 87 peeps in 3 minutes.
I just did I'm starting a baby YouTube channel, and I just did one for Easter, and I did 40 Cadbury eggs. When you say a baby YouTube channel, you mean you're going to eat a baby live on YouTube, right? And we're going to time it? Okay, exactly. Very good. Well, now the surprise element is gone. Thank you very much. But,
oh, my God. I don't think I could physically pick up however many peeps you just said. Was it 87 peeps?
Yeah.
I don't think I could pick that many up in 3 minutes. Literally, if I just was picking them up, not even putting them in my mouth, it would be hard for me to do that in 3 minutes. That's how weak I am.
I'm sure you do better than you think.
I'm going to do a pick up peeps contest where I just literally pick up marshmallows. And we'll see how many marshmallows can I pick up in 3 minutes. I bet it's not 87. That's amazing, you guys. Another fun thing about you guys are a couple. What is it like being a couple in this world of competitive eating? How did you meet and how does it stay strong, especially being in Seattle and Chicago?
You want to tell the story?
No, I'll let you tell it.
Okay, so I heard of Sarah right around the time of last year almost. She had competed in the Peeps eating contest. Or no, you competed in something, but I reached out to her because what I do is with most newbies, I reach out and say, hey, welcome to the family.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of, crazy SOBs. I won't swear.
You said the F word earlier.
If you have anything, you're interested in, or if you have any questions in regards to training or contests or blah blah blah, let me know. We're always willing to help. And
sure.
We just friendly banter back and forth about competing and training and fitness and yada yada yada. And then as we got closer to the 4th, it's like by the 4th of July. 4th of July in New York, where we would actually meet because she qualified. Kind of just like. The conversations took a turn, but not in a good way. And then once I met her, I just kind of knew.
Sure.
The moment I hugged her, and I saw her smile and her laugh, I was like, "Fuck." There I go. Damn it. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
So he's hooked. How do you feel about that, Sarah? Is that about the same on your side?
That's no. It's no.
She's like, this guy started creeping on me and asked if I wanted to eat his peep. It was very strange.
That would have been a good line.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right about like how it led up and how we just started chatting and whatnot. But I only knew him as the character that he portrays at Nathan's, which is the One More Bite character. And I was like, what a fucking douchebag.
Oh, that's the best. That's the story. That's the other half I wanted to hear. That's great.
Hey, I'm just good at what I do. That means I can sell the character.
Now, yeah, tell me about that, Johnny. We grew up watching wrestling, and that's kind of what you are. You're like a larger than life character as this competitive eater, One More Bite. And was that hard for you to develop, or was it really just like, I'm just going to do what I grew up watching and put my own spin on it?
Yeah, it was pretty much. It was really easy.
Sure.
Coming into it. Like prior to like when I was still living here, prior to moving to Vegas, and I would do local contests, and I was like, I had to figure out some way to stand out, and, from anything. And especially if I wanted to be with this company, you can't just be the run of the mill, lackluster personality. You got to make sure you leave an impact, win or lose. And at first it was kind of like a headband and glasses, but also then how I carry myself and the ego and what I walk out to, and then it was just like, then it just kind of steamrolled, and then now I'm just shaking my ass in like tight pants, and I don't know what I'm doing anymore, but it works. There
you go. Is there, Sarah, do you have a character of any kind, or are you just yourself?
I'm pretty much myself. I go by BAB, which is Badass Bitch, or Unstoppable Badass Bitch, because I have both those as tattoos, but I'm generally just a sarcastic, vulgar, awful human being in general.
I love it.
That's why we get along.
That's a perfect match. Very good. Awesome. Now that we know, last thing, we got to talk about this. You guys just recently did a series of, I want to say 2,000-3,000 photos of you completely naked. Completely naked with food covering your parts. Tell me how that came to be.
Okay, so I actually did this by myself about a year ago, February. I had this idea of like, there's never been a competitive eater in a body issue.
Sure.
And of ESPN, the magazine, the body issue, for people who don't understand what I just referenced.
Sure.
And of all, and I threw this out to, I hadn't done anything with those pictures, but I kind of threw out the idea again to Sarah, just randomly. She had a photo shoot coming up, and I was like, I mentioned the idea, and she's like, dude, to have two is better than one. Let's do this together and let's pitch this.
Yeah.
She did really well, stole the show. We figured we're pitching this to the editors, and at ESPN, and we got to try to do guerrilla marketing. We feel we should be in there. Why not? With the relationship that our company has with, or by company MLE has with Nathan's, has with ESPN.
Yeah.
Why not?
Sure.
And
did anything come of it, or did you get any kind of anybody messaging you or saying like, hey, like this caught my eye or anything like that?
Nothing yet.
Yeah.
Though I have some info, and I'm not going to reveal it yet. I'm going to tell Sarah. I actually just got it today, so I'm going to tell Sarah later.
Oh, very exciting. I can't wait to hear the updates. I think it's a great idea, and I am very pro that kind of marketing and that kind of like, hey, they're not going to just call us, so let's at least try and get their attention this way. And the pictures are high quality, and they're very like, holy shit, what is this? A stack of pancakes in front of a penis? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So I think
Quick shout out to Chris Rosa, who took those photos for us. He's the photographer out of Seattle, and he and his assistant stayed late in a freezing CrossFit gym while our naked asses were covered in donuts. So special
great.
Thanks to that dude.
Very good. And you guys, if you're listening and you want to see these naked photos of my guests on today's episode, you can go to either of their Instagrams. Can you guys plug your Instagrams real quick?
Knock it out, babe.
So I am unstoppable_BAB, and he is one more bite, spelled just like it sounds.
Very cool. Go check out those pictures. Now that we know all about you guys, we're going to dive into the topics you gave me for today's episode. We'll start with Johnny's topics. We got 5 from Johnny, 5 from Sarah. Johnny, here are your topics first. The very first one was Rugrats. You a big Rugrats fan?
Yeah, man. I haven't watched it and I realized after I said that, I haven't really watched it in about 8 to 10 years. So, but I loved it growing up. Let's give it a shot.
People love doing that. People love going like, oh, I love this. And then they as soon as I bring it up on the show, they're like, yeah, I haven't watched it in 20 years. So hopefully I remember the Smurfs or whatever. That's awesome. Rugrats. Do you have a favorite Rugrats character you relate to?
I don't relate to any of them, but I think my favorite was always Tommy.
Yeah, right? He's kind of the the leader of the show. There you go. You're kind of a leader in life, right?
I mean, I like to think so. Sarah may disagree, but yeah, I like to think so.
There you go.
You're in charge when I'm not around.
Yeah, there it is. That's it. Love it. Your next topic was boy bands. We grew up listening to a lot of boy band music with your older sister and my friend Ron's older sister. Do you have a favorite boy band song that really rings true to your heart?
Oh, it's good. I Want It That Way.
I Want It That Way, right? That's a good one.
Yeah.
Very, very good. I love that song. I just did a whole boy band round at one of my trivia nights, and people like lose their minds. Like they start singing and dancing and going nuts.
So Sarah and I back in December went to the Jingle Bash, United States Jingle Bash here, and Backstreet Boys were one of the featured acts. It was like we were back in high school. It was amazing. They put on a great show. They made Taylor Swift look like garbage.
The garbage she is. All right. The next topic you said was Chicago Bulls, which I've done on this episode one time before with my friends Pablo Rodriguez and Pat Chase. It was a really fun episode. You never know if I'm going to choose it again as Chicago Bulls, and their performance in the 90s rings true to even my heart as not a huge sports fan.
Oh, yeah. How can it not?
Right? You got Rodman, you got the Worm. Remember how popular Dennis Rodman was in Chicago in the 90s? It was like those shoes came out with the zipper up the middle, and then they had like worm suckers, I remember, at the baseball card shop. It was like a sucker that looked like a worm that was also Rodman. It was strange stuff.
Oh, yeah. And then kids, for random reasons, would just be, not random reasons, but randomly would be, spraying their hair different colors, just because they wanted to be like Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. Your next topic was Seinfeld, which I also did at a live trivia event just this last week. And it's weird. I think that my questions were too hard. Like 2 teams out of 10 would nail it, and then the other 8 teams would be like, Kramer for like every answer. You know what I mean? They're like, the soup Nazi? And they're like, where's the question about the soup Nazi? I'm like, that's too obvious, man. I need some hard questions. Right, yeah. The number one complaint with trivia players, they're like, why don't you ask questions that I know? And it's like, well, that's not trivia. That's just stuff you know. You know what I mean? People always get mad because they're like, I just want to come out and then you tell me facts that I agree with. That's basically what they're telling me. You know what I mean?
That's the easy way to go.
That's the easy way to go. Do you have a favorite episode of Seinfeld?
Probably we had a vow, or we had an oath. I can't remember the pact. We had a pact.
The pact about, yeah, there you go. That's a great one. And your last topic, this one's kind of strange, and maybe I wrote 10 questions on it, maybe I didn't. Manscaping, which is taking care of the hair and skin of your body. Is that what you would describe that as?
That's exactly how I would describe it.
And you have been hairless as long as I've known you. I think you've like nared your from head to toe, and you do the razor sharp beard type stuff, and very very metrosexual. Is that what they would call that?
I believe that's what it was.
And you're into this.
That in a while, but yeah.
You're into manscaping. I will tell you this: I got a beard trimmer, real nice one for Christmas, and it did change the way I'm like, oh, this isn't like a $30 thing from Target. This was like a fancy thing my wife bought me, and I'm like, this does change my manscaping game a little bit.
Right.
I mean, what are you spending? What are you spending on a trimmer at this point? Per year, what about $2-3 grand?
I mean, the new one I got was $35. Wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But it does the trick, and it does help a lot.
Yeah.
And then I dropped it like an idiot and broke it, so I have to go get a new one.
So now you're just covering your body in nair and rubbing it around.
Well, no, I also took it as a sign from God. Maybe I should let the hair actually go for a bit.
Oh my God! If I ever saw you with hair on if I saw hair on your arms, I'd probably throw up. At this point, I'm too used to a bald arm.
Yeah.
No. Sarah, here are your 5 categories. Your first thing was very English majory, and I'm wondering if you majored or minored in English. You said synonyms. Are you a big wordsmith?
No, I'm just I'm a useless factor, I guess.
Yeah.
And I like writing. I have a fairly decent vocabulary, and that's always the category I slay on Jeopardy. They're like synonyms that start with S, and I'm like shitty, stupendous, satisfactory, immediately.
There you go, synonyms. Yeah, I'm only good at stuff that involves reading and writing and speaking. I can't really do anything else, so I'm lucky I fell into what I fell into. But that's great, synonyms. That may be the one we chose. Here's your next one, Stephen King. I'm a big Stephen King fan. Someone texted me recently, did you hear Stephen King died? And I lost my shit. And then they said, oh, my bad, it was Stephen Hawking. And I said, I was still sad because I was like, oh, that was a good human. But I was like, I would have been a lot more sad if it was Stephen King, I think.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah. And come on, Stephen Hawking's had a good run.
Sure. A good run and a lot of stuff going on to make the world better. But Stephen King, right? He's the nightmare factory. He makes all the scary stuff happen. Do you have a favorite Stephen King? Let's do favorite book, favorite movie.
Favorite book is Lizzie's Story, which was one of the ones he did in 2005 that he got hit by a car.
Yeah.
And while he was hit by a car, his wife kind of went through and organized his study. And so he ended up basically writing a whole book based around that whole experience.
Yeah.
And he writes, surprisingly, that man knows how to write romance novels. I was crying like a baby in the book.
Is that one not horror related?
It's more psychological. It is. There's definitely some creepy parts where you're just you check your closet, but for the most part, it's more psychological.
Very good. I'll have to check that one out.
Favorite movie? To be honest, again, I like his horrors, but some of his short stories that they turned into movies were the best. But dude, you got to go Green Mile.
Yeah,
Green
you're
Mile
probably
turned
right.
out amazing.
Yeah, that was really, really true to the book. That's probably the best one. He's got to be sitting on $1 billion, right? With all those books and movies and licensing, easily, right?
Absolutely. The Dark Tower trilogy alone, dude. He's hand over fist.
There you go.
But it's funny, his first book or whatever, Carrie, he sold that for $4,000 or something like that.
I know. I love hearing those stories. Those are great. Your next topic, Bruce Willis movies, which is weird that you put that because I use that as an example sometimes when I'm trying to explain a certain game. I do this thing called Categories with Buds at my trivia nights, and I'll be like, for example, Bruce Willis movies, and we'll go Die Hard, and then we'll go The Whole Nine Yards or whatever, and people always kind of look at me like, Bruce Willis movies, but it's the one that always pops in my head.
He's the man. How can you not like Bruce Willis?
He's the man. I heard he's kind of a dick in real life, especially as he's gotten older, but I do still like him quite a bit.
I think he has a right to be at this point.
Yeah. I watched Daddy's Home 2 with Mel Gibson, and I know he's kind of a piece of shit in real life, but I was like, I still like him on screen, if that makes sense. I still think he he can still be in movies and I can separate the two, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Your next topic was food, just in general. Of course, as a competitive eater, you know a little bit about food.
I eat it. I like to cook it. And then because of nutritional coaching that I do, like I spend a lot of time, like, you know, paying attention to like what food consists of and how it breaks down and how your body processes it, stuff like that.
How would this food look in front of a nipple? How would that look? Right? Stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Would it cover it up? Sure.
Is it going to cover my vagina or not? Yeah,
that's how we went about choosing every food in those pictures.
Very good. Right. My favorite one was the Pringles can, Johnny, where you were just, right behind the Pringles guy's face with the curly mustache. That was great.
Yep.
Your last topic, Sarah, was quotes from films. So a good mix of stuff here. Give me, I don't know, I guess your favorite quote from a film? Do you have one?
My favorite quote. I would say either "Do you really want to live forever" from Conan,
okay,
or "No fate but what we make" from Terminator 2.
Very good. Those are very specific.
Great references.
Very specific references, and I'm excited to see which two topics we picked. And I already know which two topics they picked, or we picked, so we're going to reveal those right now. Johnny, your topic is going to be Rugrats.
Boom.
And Sarah, your topic is Stephen King. All right, so we're going to be doing some Rugrats and Stephen King trivia. We're going to go back and forth between those two topics. We'll start with Johnny's topic of Rugrats. You get 1 point when you get your topic's question right, 2 points when you can steal the other person's topic. You had to wait for the whole question to be read, and we're going to buzz in with a buzz-in word. What's like a 1 or 2 syllable word that means something between the two of you?
Nana.
What is it?
Nana.
Nana, N-A-N-A. Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay. Nana. I'm not going to ask for the story behind that.
Good idea.
Yeah, very good. So we're going to buzz in with the word Nana for these two competitive eaters. And again, starting with Rugrats and going to Stephen King and back and forth. You guys ready for the trivia showdown?
Let's do this.
All right. This is the trivia showdown.
Trivia showdown.
Question number 1, Rugrats. Either of you can buzz in on both topics, just so you know. At any time, as soon as the question's being done being read. Question number 1, what is the name of the Pickles family dog?
Oh, my God.
What's the dog's name from Rugrats of the Pickles family?
Of all the characters, that's the only one I forget.
Buzzing in with Nana.
I got nothing.
Nothing. Sarah, any guesses?
Is it Spike?
It is Spike, and that is 2 points right off the bat. 2-1 because she stole it. She got 2 points. Johnny, you really shit the bed there.
Yep.
You
and I'm not gonna lie, probably gonna shit the bed on any Stephen King question. So
wait. I have to tell you. You know why I know the answer to that?
Why?
Because in the Rugrats movie, Bruce Willis did the voice of Spike.
What a callback. That is true. Bruce Willis was the voice of Spike. Well done, Sarah. She follows the career of her favorite bald actor. Question number 1 for the Stephen King side. Stand By Me, the movie, was based on a short story by King called what? They're thinking it over, buzzing in with Nana. Stand By Me, the movie, was based on a short story by King called what?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
No guesses from either of you guys?
No.
Nope.
The answer was The Body. The Body. So The Body is because they're going to look for the body. And that was the name. It was in a collection of short stories. I forget the name of the collection. But that was the name of it. Question number 2 for Rugrats. What doll does Angelica love more than anything?
Nana.
Sarah.
Cynthia.
That is correct. That is very correct. Well done. And that is 2 more points for Sarah. So it's 4-0.
Smoking.
4-0. You know what I always get Cynthia confused with? Malibu Stacy, which is on what, Simpsons?
I almost said Miley Cyrus because she kind of reminds me of Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, she does with the crazy hair. Yeah, you're right.
Damn it.
Yeah. Question number 2 for Stephen King. King wrote a book about a girl who gets lost in the woods called The Girl Who Loved Who?
Nana.
Yeah.
sorry, not The Girl Who Loved Nana. Tom Thumb?
It is not Tom Thumb. It is Tom something. Johnny, do you have a guess?
Tom Selleck.
It is not Tom Selleck, but that would be a good.
Gordon, The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon.
It is The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon.
Here, lady.
She unfortunately unfortunately doesn't get the point because we already guessed, but it was The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. This was a random book I picked up for like $1 somewhere. It's a pretty good book. It's about a girl just lost in the woods. She uses her love of this baseball player to try and get out, and I think she does at the end. Spoiler alert.
Played a baseball player at some point in his career.
Not Major League, Mr. Baseball. Wasn't that the name of the movie?
That's it.
That's it. Question number 3 for Rugrats. Chaz gets rich and sends Chucky to a new private school. What game show host's kid also goes there?
Nana.
Sarah, go ahead.
I'm just going to say Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek, great guess, but incorrect. Johnny, does that narrow it down for you?
Pat Sajak.
It is Pat Sajak, and there's your first point on the board. His kid has huge blue eyes just like him. It's kind of funny. He goes down a slide. I always remember that scene for some reason. 4 for Sarah, 1 for Johnny. Still anybody's game. We're jumping back over to the Stephen King side. Number 3, how many books make up the Dark Tower series?
Nana.
Johnny.
I'm just going to say 4.
4 is incorrect. Sarah.
Worth a shot.
It's 12?
Incorrect. It is 8. 8 total books from what I saw. 8 books. I think he might be working on more or something, but I think there are 8 that are out right now.
What? Oh, all right.
Let me, while I have a computer in front of me, let me just double check. Dark Tower series. Let's see here. It is 8 books, right? Yep. All right. Well, we double checked. There you go. So no points there. Let's see. Number 4 for the Rugrats side. Tommy gets a new little brother. What is his full first name? Number 4 on Rugrats. Tommy gets a little brother. What's his full first name?
Nana. I know his full.
So it's not the 3 names, but what? So I'm sure you know his name.
Yeah, his last name.
Well, you don't know. You don't know his first name.
I know his first name too, but you're making it sound like like his like a government name, like is what you're trying to say.
So what do you think the first name is?
Isn't it Dill?
Right, but that's short for something else.
Dilbert.
It is not Dilbert. Sarah, any guesses?
Damn it.
Yes.
Dylan.
It is Dylan, and that's 2 more points for Sarah. It's 6-1. She's cleaning up.
Yeah.
Question number 4 for Stephen King. What is the first name of the antagonist in the book and movie Misery? First name of the antagonist. What is her name in Misery?
Nana.
Johnny.
I'm guessing here. Sherry.
Sherry. Good guess. Incorrect. Sarah.
Claiborne?
It is not Claiborne.
Dolores Claiborne.
That's a totally different thing. I don't even know if that's Stephen King, but that's also a good guess. Kind of similar looking vibes, and I think she looks like this character. It's Annie Wilkes, played by Kathy Bates. Annie is the name. Annie Wilkes. Yeah.
Dolores Claiborne. Where the hell did I pull that from? Damn it!
That was a '90s movie about like a weird something. I'll have to look it up. There was also a movie called Nell that always reminded me of Misery, and I don't think it has anything to do with Misery, but
maybe because they're both set in the woods.
Yeah, they're like kind of woodsy, maybe. All right. Number 5. What 3-word Rugrats spinoff ran from 2003 to 2008? 3-word Rugrats spinoff ran for 5 years in the early 2000s. It was called The Rugrats. Something. Any guesses from you guys?
All right. Well, if you're okay, so it's. See, I didn't really watch at that point, but I'm gonna guess Nana. I'm gonna guess the Rugrats all grown up.
That's right. Rugrats all grown up. Another point for Johnny. It's 2-6. That was when they were like in high school, and I didn't know that ran for 5 years. I thought that was like maybe like a special they did one time or something.
Yeah, like Christ, that's like Saved by the Bell, the new class. Like who watched that at that point?
Right. Well, have you seen Rugrats the new class where they go to college now? with that same what was that guy? The teacher with the curly hair, the weird '90s teacher.
Oh, the RA that they had.
Oh, was that who? He was supposed to be an RA. He was like 50, he was like 50 years old. He was 54 years old. Number 5 for Stephen King. I just read this book maybe a year ago. It's really good. Does the Stephen King book Joyland take place at a circus, a theme park, or in heaven?
Nana.
Sarah.
It's a theme park.
It is a theme park. Have you read that one?
Yes, I have.
That's good. That's a good little murder mystery. Johnny, you should read it if you haven't read Joyland. I think they're making it into a movie or a miniseries or something like that. Question number 6 for Rugrats. What are Phil and Lil's last name? Phil and Lil. What is their last name? This was a tough one. I forgot about this one.
I can see it. I can...
The winner of this, I forgot to mention, gets 87 peeps.
Wait, Nana.
Sarah.
It rhymes, right? It's Phil and Lil DeVille.
That's right. Phil and Lil DeVille is correct. That is 2 more points. For Sarah, it is 9-2. Well done. 9-2.
What other questions we got here?
we have 200 more questions, so sit tight.
Oh, okay. That's it? I got a shot then. I got a shot.
I'm failing miserably on my Stephen King ones. Apparently, I know a shit ton about Rugrats.
That's how it always works out. Here's number 6 for Stephen King. Maybe you know this one. In 1979, King wrote a book called The Dead Zone. Who starred in the TV series The Dead Zone on USA Network?
Oh, Nana.
Sarah.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall is correct, and that's 10-2. Johnny, you got to catch up. Did you watch that show, Johnny?
Nothing, man.
Did you ever watch Dead Zone?
I remember it because I'm pretty sure it came on, around, about somewhere near wrestling. That's
Monday Night Raw when Silk Stockings went off the air. They just added in Dead Zone, and I'm like, where's all the sex?
What happened to that?
What happened to all the sex after wrestling? Yeah. Here's number 7 for the Rugrats side. What 2 colors make up Susie's dress? Susie wears the same dress all the time. What 2 colors are on her dress? Johnny.
Purple and yellow.
That's right. Purple and yellow. That's a very specific one for you to still remember amongst all these other ones you didn't remember. So good job.
Colors sometimes help.
Colors.
You know what I mean? And at this point, I'm just screaming Nana first just for the fuck of it.
There you go. That's a good strategy. Here's
Sorry,
number...
man. I got to catch up here.
Number 7 for Stephen King. Dr. Sleep is a sequel to what Stephen King book?
Nana.
Sarah. Dr. Sleep is a sequel to what book?
Oh, no. Dr. Sleep was so good, too. The Shining. The Shining?
It is The Shining. After about 10 seconds, it came to her. Would you have guessed The Shining there, Johnny?
Either would have gone with The Shining, and I'm pretty sure he did not do Thinner or anything related to that movie, but that for some reason that stood out to me, and I thought maybe it could play off of it.
I think he did do Thinner. I think that is him, right?
That's totally him, which was a short story, and it was so good. No, Dr. Sleep is about his son, about the son from The Shining.
There you go. Number 8 for Rugrats. True or false? Rugrats was the first Nicktoon to be turned into a theatrical movie.
Nana.
Sarah.
False.
That's incorrect. Johnny, do you have a guess?
I'm going to say true.
There's your 4th point by default. Johnny getting on the board. It was true. It was the first Nicktoon that was turned into a movie. Question number 8 for Stephen King. The book Christine is about a killer what?
Nana.
Sarah.
Car.
It is a killer car, and that's her 12th point. It's 12-4. And we're getting down to the nitty and the gritty here. Let's see how this all turns out. Number 9 for Rugrats. What year did the series Rugrats premiere?
Nana.
Yes.
96.
96 incorrect. Sarah, any guesses there?
I feel like it was earlier. 90.
So close. 1991. The Rugrats premiered in 91. Good guesses on both your parts. Number 9 is for the Stephen King side. What King book, then movie, then TV series was canceled in September 2017? It was a book, then a movie, then a TV series, and it was recently canceled September 2017. What was the name of it?
Nana.
Use Sarah. Johnny.
Nothing. I can't come up with anything.
It was The Mist. Remember that? The Mist?
Oh.
I was excited when I saw it was going to be a TV show, and then I looked it up for that question, and it said it was canceled after 8 episodes in 2017. I was like, oh, man. So I guess that didn't work out. But the movie I liked a lot. I thought it was a good movie. Number 10 for Rugrats, Mark Mothersbaugh. This is your last Rugrats question. Mark Mothersbaugh, who composed the music for Rugrats, was in what 80s group?
One more time.
Mark Mothersbaugh, who composed the music for the series Rugrats, was in what 80s group, like musical group? Any guesses there? Mark Mothersbaugh, what 80s band?
Mark Mothersbaugh.
No guesses?
Flock of Seagulls.
Flock of Seagulls, good guess. Incorrect. Johnny?
Solid guess. Poison.
Poison, incorrect. It was Devo. Whip It from Devo. That was Mark Mothersbaugh. They wore those little hats, those little red planter-looking hats. That was your last Rugrats question. Number 10 for Stephen King. Here's your last one for King. What character gets their arm ripped off in the opening scene of It?
Oh, my God.
What's the name of the character who gets their arm ripped off in It?
Nana.
Go ahead.
Georgie?
It is Georgie, and that's 2 points. Your only steal the whole thing there, Johnny.
Hey, man.
And you got 6 points to Sarah's 12. So, unfortunately, even if you win the next two things, Sarah will win the podcast. So, Sarah, you can congratulate yourself about that. But we are going to do 2 more things. The next thing we're going to do is called the Combo Question.
Combo Question.
Now, the Combo Question combines both Rugrats and Stephen King in some way. So, let's see if you can figure this one out. It's worth 2 points if you get it. You're buzzing in with Nana. For 2 points... In a very quick gag on the Rugrats, which character is shown reading a book called The Portable Stephen King?
Nana.
Johnny.
Chucky.
Chucky is incorrect.
Damn it.
Sarah?
Angelica.
Angelica, incorrect. It was Stu, Tommy's dad, Stu. So no points there. I should have said an adult. Maybe that would have narrowed it down. But yeah, no points there.
It's all good.
It's still 12-6. Johnny, you can get 3 more points if you survive this last thing. It's called Categories with Buds.
Categories with Buds.
Category for today's episode is Food Network shows. So it could be any show that's ever been on the Food Network. And we are going to go in a circle, and we'll start with me, and then we'll go to Sarah, then Johnny, then back to me. If you can name one, you're in. If you can't name one, you're out. Last person standing gets 3 points. If I win, I'll award the points to Johnny. So, Sarah, it's me and Johnny versus you. My first show is Iron Chef America. Sarah? Chopped.
The Kitchen.
I'm going to say Cutthroat Kitchen.
Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Yeah.
What's the... Okay.
He's struggling.
Cupcake Wars.
Cupcake Wars. I'm going to say Guys Grocery Games. They call that
Ace of Cakes.
Triple G. Ace of Cakes, yes.
Cake Wars.
Cake Wars, yeah. I'm going to say The Barefoot Contessa.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Chop Jr.
Chop Jr., nice. Johnny?
Touche. How to beat Bobby... Battle with Bobby Flay. Beat Bobby Flay.
Beat Bobby Flay, that's right. That's where they just punch him in the face over and over again.
I like that.
Yeah, that'd be a fun show. He's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? What's going on? What are you doing? I would say, for just a half hour every week, I'm going to say Pioneer Woman.
Ugh, I hate that show. Diner Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's with, wait, is that the one with the big guy?
And is like, your place sucks, but I'm going to save it. He's I can't even remember his name.
No, that's the wrong show. That's the wrong show.
No, Diner Impossible is 100% on Food Network. It's
Absolutely
with the dude.
Not.
I think it's called Dinner.
The right concept, it's not the right name.
Is it Dinner Impossible?
You are the most search this stuff.
Yeah. I don't think it's called Diner.
Go ahead.
That's fine. He saves them.
If you have the right concept, I think the name is wrong, though.
Diner Impossible is a mystery book you can buy on your Kindle, but it doesn't look like a Dinner Impossible is the Food Network show by Robert Irvine. So unfortunately, Sarah, I'm going to say eliminated because it was one letter off. So Johnny, you got any more?
Mystery diners.
Mystery diners. I'm going to say Sweet Genius with that creepy guy that looks like a snake.
Yes.
Yeah. Ron Ben Israel.
I don't know his name. I forgot his name.
Mm-hmm. You got any more?
At dinner, there was Restaurant Impossible.
Yes, Restaurant Impossible. I'm going to say Good Eats with Alton Brown.
Fuck. That's not a show.
If you can name one, you win.
Something with Jada. What the hell is her? Damn it! I can't think of her show. I got nothing.
I'm gonna say I got one more. 30-minute meals. Is that a thing? 30-minute meals with Rachel Ray.
Yeah.
So that's 3 points for me, but I'm gonna give them to Johnny. So Johnny gets 1, 2, 3 for a total of 9 to Sarah's 12. Sarah, you're the winner. Congratulations. Very good. What'd you guys think of the caliber of the questions? Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
That was fun.
Very cool. Where can people find you online? You plugged your Instagrams earlier. If people want to see you partially naked, they can go and find you on Instagram. Give those Instagram plugs one more time. And do you have any upcoming contests or TV appearances or anything fun coming up?
Baby, go ahead. You go first.
Yeah, so again, Instagram, it's unstoppable_BAB. You can also find me on Whatever It Takes Health, www.whateverIttakeshealth. And Juan and I are both going to be doing a pizza eating competition in California next month.
Fantastic.
Actually.
What part of California?
Beautiful Westminster.
Oh, the beautiful town of Westminster, California. I'll be there. That'll be great.
Nice.
Yeah, awesome, guys. And Johnny, how about you?
Yeah, so all social media at One More Bite on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I mean, everything. Upcoming contests, like Sarah said, is the pizza contest coming up April 22nd. Hoping to work on a few things for that, getting our naked butts in some, shows or some magazines. And then, you can always find us on the 4th of July on ESPN for Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest.
Very cool.
And follow me on YouTube. I'm on YouTube.
Very cool.
Or my challenge where I eat babies.
Yeah. Watch Sarah eat a live baby. And if you want to see Johnny eat those jingles, what could they search, Johnny? Like One More Bite on YouTube and then jingles or something like that?
Just search One More Bite. It'll take you straight to, I'll be the first link that comes up.
Yeah.
And then the first video that'll pop of mine will be my jar of peanut butter in 1 minute 28 seconds.
Oh, that's
good. But then I
too.
think Jingles is like it's close behind it.
Amazing. Very cool. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for being on the show. Good luck with your year of eating and personal training, and I'll talk to you very soon.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Alrighty then. What did you do better on, Rugrats or Stephen King? I think I would have done better on Stephen King myself, but hey, I do write all the questions, so that's easy for me to say. Follow Johnny and Sarah on Instagram. They post tons of nudes, and sometimes their parts are covered up, but they post other great content as well. So check them out. They're a very fun couple. I am glad to know them both. This Thursday, we get a mini episode on food, which is kind of perfect for the competitive eaters also this week. This was picked by Patreon listener Earl Clark, so special thanks to him and all my Patreon subscribers, including Earl Clark, Alex Dimension X, Jess Whitener, Alexis Eck, Natalie Santiago, Fiona Neville, and Manny McNelly. If you like this show, please rate it, review it, and subscribe to it. You get new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. On Tuesday, we do the full-length episodes, usually with guests, and on Thursday, it's usually just me asking you 15 questions on a certain topic and telling you a fun story about me and that topic. So if you like the show, definitely rate, review, and subscribe. And also, most importantly, just tell a friend about it. That's my favorite thing is when someone goes, my friend told me that I would like this, and now I listen to every episode. So thanks so much for that. And if you tell a friend, tell me who you told, and then I will buy you both ice cream somehow. That's my promise to you this week. Thanks for checking out the show this week. We'll see you again very, very soon for more trivia fun. Cheers.